Have you ever wanted to improve something in your life and not felt motivated to do it? In this video, we'll look at different sources of motivation. We want to be energized both for the things we want to do and the things we don't want to do but need to do. Motivation doesn't just impact our thoughts but our actions as well. In this video, we'll look at 5 areas. Motivation from expectation, motivation from friends, motivation from work, motivation from rest, motivation from hobbies and interests. Motivation from expectation. What we expect to happen can have a massive impact on the level of motivation we have towards something. People who expect something terrible to happen as a result of doing something will not have the motivation to complete it in comparison to someone who expects a good outcome of the same thing. Let's say, for example, you have 2 guys who are thinking about jumping off a high diving board, which is over water. One believes the women he is with will be more impressed with him for having the courage to be able to do it. The other believes that if he attempts it, he is likely to hurt himself in the process. For a moment, we are going to put to one side the actual reality of if the women really would be impressed by that or if the diving board was in a safe position or not. The reason is because we are focusing on the motivation. One person believes there is a social reward for completing the action. The other person believes it will be harmful to do the action. The person who expects the social reward has a far greater motivating factor to make the jump than the person who thinks they will be hurt by it. So when there are things we want to do, one of the means of motivation is the mechanism of reward. A rewarding factor is something that can energize us and motivate us to complete something, so long as the reward mechanism is something greatly desired. In the case of the diving board example, if the guy thought by jumping off the diving board it could be fun, but he wanted to get his lengths done, then he might not end up being as motivated to get to it because his priority is the lengths. The flip side of expectation is if we expect something to be harmful to us, we are more likely to keep away from it, particularly if we strongly feel that. This can be a good way to motivate us to stop doing some things that are really dangerous, like wireless bungee jumping off the Empire State Building. However, there are plenty of people who may conclude lots of chocolate is bad for them and yet go ahead and eat it anyway, so it is not as powerful as a reward factor for that reason. Motivation from friends. When other people do the same things as us, it can help us to feel like we're not alone and make what we are doing more fun. A great example of this is having a friend to go to the gym with. Sometimes a bit of competitiveness and good conversation can really help to motivate you to actually do the exercise you want to do. Friends can also be great when not doing something with you. They can encourage you with it when they see you. Let's say you had made a goal to do an hour walking every day. When you meet a friend and they ask you how it is going, it can add to the motivation because you want to be able to tell your friend you have been successful. Also, when there are times you have not kept up with it, a friend can encourage you to try again tomorrow so you get back into the rhythm. This is where motivation from friends can be a key source of being energized to complete what you want to complete. Motivation from work. When someone enjoys their work, they want to do it really well. They want to know what they are doing inside out and improve their skills along the way. Whilst not everyone is in a position to be motivated by this, those that are can find a great sense of satisfaction and purpose in the work they do. To be motivated in this way, there are 2 things that are required. You are interested in what you are doing, and you are very good at what you are doing. When these 2 criteria are met, it is easy to be motivated from work. Since not everyone can find motivation in what they do at work, this is where having a personal project outside of work that you find interesting can be a real help. A personal project that I have seen has been kit cars. Whilst various places around the country can have large parks to showcase them, some places host events for people to showcase kit cars as well. There are very different types of personal projects that people do. However, the satisfaction in completing them and the enjoyment of them can be a springboard for other things which are needed in life. Motivation from rest. Something that will really impact motivation is if we are energized and rested, tired, stressed, worn out, or burned out. In order to be energized and rested, we need the right amount of sleep. That will be different for different people. However, whilst things like removal of blue light, doing regular exercise can impact things physiologically well, consider the mental aspects as well. If you have loads of things you feel like you need to get done, spending time thinking about it at night can impact your sleep, which can impact how well you get them done and create a cycle. This is where taking a notepad and pen to have next to you in bed to write things down can provide a release mechanism so your mind can let it go and help you sleep quicker. The other thing with a notepad and pen as well is actually avoiding blue light. This is where a notepad and pen can be better than having a phone. Whilst good sleep is helpful, how we rest whilst awake is really important. Taking a day of rest, taking needed holiday time, and building up an understanding of what is energizing versus what uses up energy means a quality approach to rest can be built up. Consider if you are energized by being around others, or if you are energized by spending time on your own doing things you enjoy, or some of both of those things. Motivation from hobbies or interests. Different parts of the brain are used for different things. What can be really good is to find something you are interested in which requires different skills than those you use as part of your work. Let's say you do something physical for work. Maybe at the weekend, you could do something that requires more of a mental focus, like crosswords or word searches. Maybe you do a job that requires a lot of thinking. Then taking on a practical hobby like a sport, or maybe something creative like an art project, or putting together small model cars or aeroplanes, maybe cooking or baking, as something a bit different could work for you. A hobby or interest can add fun to a person's life and make things more enjoyable, so that when you have the necessary things you need in life to do that are less fun, you have something to look forward to. As I have improved my own life to increase my own motivation, you can implement the things from this that will help you, and you can improve your own motivation. Birds of a feather, we grow together.